Welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, and you would like to become a wolf this Halloween, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Moving on, now that I lost some people. Today we're building our Devil West, and there's a couple of important things you may need to know for Devil West. One, it always gets hit on wave 6, and that's also probably why it's called Devil, because it's wave 6. You know, yeah, I'm sure you get it. I don't know why did I explain that? Whatever. Uh, Moving on. Uh, Also, this is just the preview of the run through. There'll be a better run through of the placement of the walls later on in the video. But moving on, I really wanted to get the placement of the walls and the ceiling correct. So I apologize for the pre placements and stuff now, and that's also one of the things that you need to know. And this block off is important. Yeah, this is a heavy damage build, inspired and or modified copy of my buddy's Wave 30 away from keyboard. Well, he says it's not away from keyboard, but we away from keyboard it to Wave 30, but it's his damage, his damage build, not away from keyboard damage build, is what we're currently building here on our Devil. And I hope you were just following along in these random floor tiles. I do apologize for placing these tiles ahead of time, but I did want to get the positioning of the ceiling and the wall tiles precise, and I'll go in more in depth on the slinger walls and stuff later on. But regarding we're gonna have ceiling electrics lining this area. I'm gonna go ahead and place one there, just to remind myself whenever I place the rest of them. That's the stopping point, and then from there on is gonna be our the ceiling drop traps. Alright, now for a little more in-depth look on our placement of these tiles before we start chunking traps everywhere and confusing you. I'll go ahead and explain to you the exact placement of the ceilings and the block offs, which this block off over here is the main important thing. Over here next to the west, over here, these cones. And then one of the things that I left open over here is the bottom floor. You need an extra wall. You need to modify that floor down there like that. Just a quick look at it. We'll cover more of that. We'll start from my old build. This is going to be connected to my old build, which is even with roughly about 2 tiles off the floor is what the ceiling electrics are going to be. And some of the enemies are going to run this way, but more than likely I may need to punch a hole in that wall there, because that's way too much to detour them compared to the old thing. But they should possibly try to break through this wall here, roughly here. So and also you may want a husky husk may get through here, and don't forget to connect this to more than one spot, because this is basically most of this block off here is hovering. So if you only have a few tiles and they break that one tile, you're in trouble. And regarding the wall, it's even with this mountain. And I'm just briefly showing you my north side build, the damage to the end of it. But the north side is pretty much the basic, and it's not an exact replica yet of my buddy's damage build. And some of the other block off is back here in the back. You just need to wall this area in like this, and there's a little passageway right there you'll need to block off. And then for some reason my buddy has one panel right here on the freaking ground. I don't know why, but we're gonna add it anyway. I'm assuming that's probably for the comet. It's probably to deter the comet or something. Regardless, I tried to copy my buddy's build, and I will refer to him after several tests. I've temporarily put a launch pad there so I could get on the roof, because the ceiling drop traps need to be 3 tiles off the ground. So needless to say, and our box here is roughly even with there, and it's just a box coming from their spawn like this. Well, just walls. And I placed a couple traps on the walls already, and like I said, I wanted to make sure it got it right. A floor launcher there, and then these floors right here, just a 6x6, and also this row right here I'm standing on now is important for the comet detour, I believe. So this row will definitely need to be placed for a floor panel before you start placing the ceiling, because if you get the comet in the wrong spot, then it's starting to get destroyed. It's maybe because of those floor panels down there. Alright, moving on. You're also going to need 2 panels on this hill. You're going to leave 1 space for the enemies to walk across there, and we're going to leave a wall even with this mountain. And the block off, like I said, you're going to need a flooring. This flooring is important for the possible propane weakens the wall. The smasher detects that wall as weakened, and then the smasher starts smashing that wall, breaks the wall. A cascade of events then occur that makes the smasher want to run through here, unfortunately. And on occasion it happens, and it is rare, and it happens a lot more if you don't have the proper block off. So you're gonna have to block off the heck out of that area over there, and I'll probably place the cones later on, and just in case. But regarding that, there may be also other things we may need to place after testing, and we will do the testing at the end of the video. You'll see it then. But regarding the ceilings, are roughly about 3 tiles out, 1 tile from the edge, and this is because of a structure issue, which I don't want to use too much structures, but if I determine I have a damage issue, I may want to extend this out 1 tile further to add more ceiling electrics for just a little more zappy zap, and then connected 3 tiles off the ground roughly, because there's a hill here. From our launch pad, it's 4 tiles across this ravine area where the comet strikes on the thing. And we're going to connect a couple tiles downward, because the ceiling electrics have a range of 2 tiles off the ground, and the ceiling drop traps that we're going to add are 3 tiles for maximum efficiency of critical damage of the ceiling drops traps, and that's why we're going to have them there. And these are going to be we're going to fill this first panel here probably up with other stuff, and we're going to go ahead and make sure it's connected with a couple tiles, like 1 or 2 tiles there. Just you're going to have to leave that one empty, because the comet, I believe, smashes through there regardless of our structures. And there's going to be less of them spawning coming this way, but most of the time they're the propane, and we're going to need to knock them backwards just a bit, possibly roughly about I'm not 100% sure what traps he used on this, but I'm going to use a one with the increased building health. And the reason why we're going to use increased building health for this wall is to deter the smashers from wanting to come up into 100% smash the wall. More than likely, sometimes they'll smash it. Sometimes they'll walk around it. It's yeah, it's odd. You know, those smashers. Regardless, we're gonna add building health to this side of the wall, and then we're gonna add a trap to the other side of the wall with building health. So we're gonna have health and healing. I mean, we're gonna add it. Flippy floppy, you know what I mean. Healing on one wall and then health on the other side of the wall with a trap. Okay, moving on. We're going to fill the topping of our ceilings with electrics like this. And if we have a problem, we can add one more there. It will deter any extra assassin huts you may have. But for the most part, I don't usually make it to wave 30 because I don't even try. I usually make it to wave 13, and that's good. But regarding moving on, now that I just get off subject again, 6 electrics here across the main spawn area, and this right here is the main spawn area that they're gonna run through, and they're gonna head straight through that to the area there. And the wall launcher I got there is also a building health, and then we're gonna have you're gonna either use a building health on one side or the other of this wall with whatever traps you would like. But regardless, I use wooden floor spikes for my healing on this wall. We're also going to have healing on our sound walls that we're going to place. This is a heavy propane annoying kind of amp. If your sound walls do not hit them correctly, you may want to adjust the timing of the sound walls. I'm using these sound walls with my healing on it because also there's always a possibility that the propane it will always detonate because of that. You don't want me to hear me complain about the update again. Moving on again. Block off here with the little cone for safety reasons. I found it's helpful just in case. I know I talk about extra block off, and but moving on, we're gonna fill the flooring of these tiles here with our favorite and or your favorite freeze trap. And then now the ceiling drop trap you use is more of a preference, I guess. I sometimes want to use one that's good for smashers, like one with a higher crit, like my 12-second one. But if I use this one with 6.5 seconds, it does a little less damage, but it has more chance of knocking enemies back quicker. So you just eyeball it. Just use your eyeballs and. But okay, regarding that, I just lost the joke I was thinking of. Don't forget to when you place these that the muffler is facing the direction that I'm facing, because whenever if you're unaware, the wheels that fall from the ceiling drop trap will roll out the opposite side of the muffler. So the muffler's here, it'll just roll them to the north, and that's where I want to try to keep them. I want to keep them in this box as good as possible. So if you have your tires rolling incorrectly, it's not going to keep them in the box long enough to kill them. And also, if you really want to, you can add freeze to the floor here, which will get destroyed most definitely, but you will definitely make it past the first wave, which we'll also discuss in more depth at the end of the gameplay footage at the end that I may conclude, because there's important stuff that I get in the comment sections several times after the thing, saying it does this when you're supposed to use your melons and yeah, prevail, and just keep testing and testing, and then yeah, moving on. Now that I probably annoyed some people like myself. We're just gonna fill these walls with wall darts. I'm using my favorite wall darts, which is a 144 wall dart. And by the way, most of these weapons and or traps that we are using during this tutorial is for highly efficient damage. So you'll need 144s for most of these traps to efficiently kill everything before it reaches the amplifier. I get it, which will, because I already got a comment of someone following the preview of this, not the step-by-step, which was just a preview, and we're just gonna fill this up with the necessary ceiling electrics that you need right now. Before the testing process, I'm going to go ahead and not add all the ceiling electrics, but you may want to fill this entire area. And I will probably also fill it up later on after testing for a few days. Regarding the traps I'm using, do not use 106s on here. If you're using 106s, the traps aren't going to work. That's someone else. Moving on to our next little part. Alright, I had to check the footage real quick to make sure 100% I got all the trap placed correctly, and luckily for you that you made it to the end of the video and I remembered I missed a trap. So for those who missed it and didn't watch the entire video, and who's wondering why your amplifier isn't working 100% correctly, well, it's because you didn't watch the last of the video. Yeah, moving on. Go ahead and add just the same sound walls we used before, and a Zappa dynamo on the opposite side there to this wall there. And also don't forget to upgrade all this. You have to upgrade everything. I know I wasn't upgrading everything in the video, yeah, in this clipping, but regarding that, see, that's about it. See, a couple more. Okay, and one more thing that I almost forgot. I thought 100% that you need to make sure you place everything over here on the block off. I know this block over here is very important. You will have a smasher problem here, possibly. It's, smashers. But regarding that, don't forget to block off this very heavily with your favorite kind of block off. I use the cone method with the cone boxes, and also the opposite side of this wall here I have healing on it, and the floor launcher has health, so that makes a little more deterrent for the smashers on this smasher wall. The block off and also don't forget to upgrade everything to the max. If that smasher detects a hint of just a hint of that he can come through there, he may come through there. Even if not, he may even try to come through there anyway. That's how annoying smashers are, and that's just a fact, the thing. But regarding this, I'd never, my buddy told me this is not, and he didn't explain this to me a couple of times, this isn't 100% away from keyboard devil amp. If you want a successful devil amp You cannot away from keyboard it, unfortunately. Me, I away from keyboard it anyway because I'm only looking for the first wave, wave 6. Once that's done, hit it and quit it. That's all I need. And but regarding that, my buddy, he goes for wave 30. So, but moving on, I really hope this helped y'all in y'all's adventure. And if this did, become a wolf by liking, subscribing, and see ya. Ooh, super secret bonus, clippy clip. This is wave 6 of Devil. This is the 6th time. This is one of the worst things that happened. A smasher decided to be pesky. Yeah, that happens. Moving on. Next test.